Loop bus services in Singapore. I'm not able to cover everything, but I will try. NR9 had a unique sector from Marymount, Sin Ming, and then up Upper Thomson Road. And then it looped at Sembawang in this fashion, like anti-clockwise fashion. This one used to loop at Marina Bay, and the roads were really different back then. Whereas NR11 looped like this. Pretty simple. NR12 was from Bedok and it looped this way. So Havelock, Upper Pickering, South Bridge, Tanjong Pagar Road, and then Burnham Street, Anson, Robinson. Okay, I gotta show this properly. Anson, Robinson, and then Cross Street, Upper Cross Street. This one was a little unconventional. So it's Avenue 4, Pioneer Road North, and then up here, because Lian Chow Drive used to be just called Nanyang Drive, and then it went inside Nanyang Link, apparently, and then it came out, and then goes back, but via Nanyang Avenue, Jalan Bahar, PIE, and then it goes back to Jurong West Avenue 4. Crazy, right? Loyang Avenue, Drive 1, Drive 6, Drive 3. I forgot if it was like this or like this back then, but yeah, let's just assume it's like that. Simple. Also from Yishun, so one big round like that. Conceptually, it was kind of like 168 plus 88, and then it loops inside Toa Payoh. Just like that, quite simple. SS1 just looped like that, so nothing too special. And then SS2 looped at inside East Coast Park, Service Road, near the Hawker Center. Okay, so the service that used to do this loop is called 356. Then it became a town link. And then it became present day service 3. Because you know that one part of service 3 was 294, which looped like that. And then when everything got merged into service 3, it looped like that. 2002 and then 2003. Then 2003 it got extended to Pongo, but before it got extended to Pongo, it looped like this. Service 4, it targets this underserved area inside. The current generation of Service 6 has looped like this ever since the beginning of time. Obviously, there is no bus terminal inside, so you gotta loop inside. And fun fact, 29 used to go inside as well before it got truncated to loop inside Changi Village. 158 loops here, and then they also brought Service 11 to loop here as well, so nothing special. 15 and 966, there was a bus terminal here called Marine Parade Terminal, and 16 used to terminate there. And then there was a 16E to Changi Airport, which later became 36. And then when this terminal closed down, before 16 was extended to Bedok like this, 16 used to loop like this, in the same fashion as 135 last time. So yeah, I think I'll put down 76 and 135 as well. Oh yeah, and 55, because they used to loop like this. Oh, and 155 as well. Although 155, the difference is that it comes from here instead. Before the kids come at me and say, "Oh my god, 18 is not a loop service." Well, it used to be. It used to loop like this. Okay, and then the other one, service 69, it looped like this. But historically, 18 used to loop like this as well. Old service 20 used to loop here, and current service 20 loops here. Service 23. Oh my god, like that. Tomlinson, and then back. Until they cut it to loop at. So now it loops like this. And because of this, many people, they take 23 to cross from one side to the other side. I don't even have to explain these. I mean, unless you want me to explain like the old Changi Airport bus services, or even this one, or even this one. Once upon a time there was 26 and there was 148 as well. So 148 kind of covers like Toa Payoh to Geylang Bahru. I mean, the sector that is covered by like 26 today. Because 148 was like, it was kind of like a combination of 26 plus 32. Like in a way. It's not exactly similar, but I mean, it's not exactly the same, but conceptually it was something like 26 plus 32. And before 26 got extended into Toa Payoh and merged with this 148 a little bit, it used to look like this. Boon King Road, Kallang Bahru, Geylang Bahru, Bendemeer Road, Boon King Road. So like that, anti-clockwise. I mean, the main 35 loops here, and then the M variant loops here. But I mean, the old 35 used to loop here anyway, so 37, a direct connection from Changi North Crescent to Tampines. The two that eventually merged to form the present day service 38. I believe it was like this. Service 40 used to be bidirectional, but then like it went inside the CBD, but then they truncated it to loop inside McPherson Estate. 41, 66, 871, old Trans-Island Bus Services 185, after it was cut to loop here instead of going all the way to Shenton Way, and then they had to like introduce 186 as compensation up till the Ferry Road part. Clockwise 43M, anti-clockwise 53M, and 116. I already explained this in a previous video, so I don't have to explain it again. I think the one benefit of like 47 is that it allows you to cross the road like this, from like this side cross to this side. Service 333 used to go all the way round, but then now got it got it got rationalized to like go via Boon Lay Way, and then yeah, this is 333, and then this one over here is 334, and it basically is just trying to cover all. How do I say it? It's basically one goes via Boon Lay Way, one goes via Jurong East 71 and Toh Guan, the other goes via Jurong Town Hall Road. I've explained this before. It's just trying to like get coverage. So 335 takes you to Chinese Garden MRT, and then like 49 it takes you to Lakeside MRT instead. So 49 kind of like ties everything together. 51 used to be from I think Jalan Eunos, that side. And then there was a 54 from Hougang South to this part of Jalan Eunos Loop, and then they merged these two together, so 51 got extended to Hougang South before it went Hougang Central. One half of 60 was 385 from Eunos, and the other half was 226 from Bedok. So they combined. The only reason why current service 62 loops here is because Lorong 1 Geylang Bus Terminal just doesn't have enough space. Oh, and 63 used to loop here before it absorbed 382, which looped at Ubi Road 3. Okay, so Ubi Road 3 was like over here. So 382 used to loop, I think, along these lines, I think. Follow my cursor. So yeah, 63 just absorbed 382, the old 382. This one is kind of an interesting one because the only reason why 64 even does this loop today was because this loop used to be covered by 32. Okay, so you have to remember that back then in the day, back in the day, I mean, these buses did not go via Red Hill MRT. It was just Alexandra Road and then straight here. So the reason why the routes kind of changed was because 198 used to go all the way to Sims Place, but then 198 got truncated to terminate at Bukit Merah. So, and then 64 covered basically. 64 was like, it used to exist as well, but then the route was like a little bit different. It was via like Tanglin Road, if I'm not mistaken. And basically 64 took over all the deleted sectors of 198 to Sims Place. And because like nowadays you already have like 198 over here, you don't really need to like extend 64 further. So they made 64 do this loop. And then 32, they amended it to Red Hill MRT instead of like just Alexandra Road straight. And then 32, they obviously uh like instead of doing this loop, they sent 32 to Margaret Drive. I mean now it's Kasiang, but they sent it to Margaret Drive and then terminate Buena Vista. So 32 became bidirectional, and yeah. And speaking of this area, there used to be one feeder service called 203, which started at Commonwealth Drive, and then it went inside Margaret Drive. And okay, right now this road is like blocked off. So if it were still to exist today, it would go by Kasiang, Tanglin Road. But obviously, you know, back then it was like that and not like this. And then Alexandra, Alexandra, Commonwealth Avenue, and then it just goes back and terminates. And yes, this one was a feeder service. Current 68 loops inside Tampines because of space constraints, but the old 68 Avenue, it was like Tampines Central 1, 2, Avenue 5, then Avenue 4, Avenue 1, and then it looped like this. You can kind of say that like the spiritual successor in a way is like 299 because you know the new bus service, it now loops like this. It's different, but you know spiritually it's like kind of similar, you know. Nowadays you guys know this one as Suntec Loop. But back in the day, this one terminated at Lorong 1 Geylang. But then Suntec has demand, so they extended it to Loop instead. 71, the reason why it loops like this is because it's to bring people from, like, you know, outside, like the main road, from Braddow Road to go inside. So it's like a hub spoke thing. This one is an official loop service. These two are bidirectional on paper, but officially they loop. This one, it's like a 5-minute toilet break or something. They park outside. I mean, they lay over not at the lots, but like nearby the verves, and then they have to like depart immediately after the break. 163, it's like, it's unofficially a loop, but it gets like a slightly longer layover time as compared to like 159, because 163 is still able to use the lots. There are previous generations of 77, but the current generation of Service 77, it's not bidirectional, but I think the oldest like iteration of the route was like this, and then it just looped at like this Kiamhock. Kiamhock. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Kheamhock. I think it's a dialect name, if I'm not mistaken. So it loops like this. The only reason why it loops outside is really because of space issues inside Clementi interchange. And then 184, I've already explained this in the other video, so I don't have to repeat it again. And then 79 again, space issues. I don't know when the Woodley ITH extensions are gonna happen, but could you guys just have made Serangoon interchange bigger, like seriously? And then 83, the current 83 that loops inside Sengkang, that's cause Sengkang interchange is like really small. It's such a pity cause now this thing has to loop inside Sengkang as well. Pongo Coast. The 90 something services, they all used to terminate at Jalan Angting terminal, but then that one closed down, so now 90 and 94 they loop inside Airport Road nowadays. And then these things, they just loop within like Buena Vista in general. And then this one and this one now loops at Holland Village. This one now loops at Kenridge Terminal, but it used to be the reverse because 95 used to loop at Kenridge Terminal, and then this one used to loop at Holland Village. But I think this one, I think at one point it actually looped at like Beauty World. And then there was this like 201 which also looped at Beauty World, except that like it used Clementi Road up instead. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure that 200 was like the winding one, and then 201 was like the straightforward one, and then 201 was like replaced by 151, except 151 doesn't go to Beauty World actually. 96 literally never changed ever since 1982. The only thing that changed was like you cannot right turn from Clementi Avenue 3 to Commonwealth Avenue West. I mean that junction with Avenue 4 as well. I mean pretty much the route has like stayed the same minus that one minor change ever since like 1982. Yeah, I think this one is like takes the crown for that, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys remember the days when 97 went via Esplanade Drive and then actually used to loop like this inside here? So this one nowadays it's like 98M. It used to be like Jurong Interchange to Jurong East Loop, and then they switched it the other way around, Jurong East Interchange to like Jurong Interchange Loop or something along those lines. I cannot remember the specifics, but I just know that there was like this flip flop. So this one kind of became 98M, and then it got combined to become 98. Do y'all also remember when Jukun interchange wasn't a thing? So you had 99 looping like this. And then fun fact, before the existence of 241, 242 was actually like this. I mean, now it goes like this, but it was like this, like this, like this, and then the reason why 242 was needed is that 99 doesn't go to Boon Lay Interchange. It never went to Boon Lay Interchange. And then, so this was 242. And then this variation of 242 today used to be 243, like in the 1990 somethings. So, yeah. But then before that, like straight up, 99 used to loop around here. And then 240 was kind of like interesting in the past because it was like this. It actually went up Jurong West Avenue 2 and then it looped like this. Yeah, it actually right turned. And then this was 240's original route when it started from Jurong Interchange. Okay, to clarify, this is only for 240. 99, I think it looped at Boon Lay Place. This is bidirectional, this is bidirectional. This one loops at Buangkok Link and Crescent. This one loops at Seletar Airport. This one used to loop like at West Camp Road, but it got extended to Yishun. This one's gonna be bidirectional because it's 43M extended. This one's bidirectional. This one's it's still bidirectional. It has always been bidirectional ever since like its introduction. This one bidirectional, except this one loop. And by the way, all of them they used to originate from Serangoon Garden Circus, and some of them like they even trod within like the upper half and the lower half. You know, like Chartwell, uh, Berkeley, Berwick, and then the top half was like Tavistock, Kensington, Park Road. There used to be like the A variants, which like they did different loops, but then they coughed out 217, which now became 317. Because anything with 2 in the past, it was like a feeder service. Not all, but like most of them were feeder services. But then they changed it to 317. So 217 was like Serangoon Garden Circus. There was a bus terminal there, and then it looped inside before this one got extended to Serangoon Interchange, like the old one, not the current one. And then a few years or months or years, I don't know, they renumbered it to 317. So yeah, all of them originated from Serangoon Garden Circus, except this one because this one is new, and 105 is relatively new, so I don't think this one actually originated inside Serangoon Garden Circus. Correct me if I'm wrong, because this one, I think it started like 1988 or something. It used to be 95, and then they swapped the sectors a bit. It no longer goes to Airport Road. Actually, no. 95, the old 95, it got withdrawn because they introduced this 105. 95 was to Airport Road. Just like in the same fashion as 97, ever since NER rationalization, it now loops at Suntec. Okay, the predecessor of 112, it used to loop like this, if I'm not mistaken. But then it wasn't really very useful, so they changed it to loop here instead to get more connectivity out of it. The predecessor of like 113 used to loop like somewhere around here, but then that predecessor got extended to loop at over here, and then it became 113 obviously because the feeders merged. I don't need to explain this one, but 115 basically it's like this. I've talked about 115 in another video already, but basically it's meant to serve like the inner areas. Cause Hougang Avenue 3 has like really poor MRT access to Kovan, so that's why they even introduced this one in the first place. And then the current 119, it's just a remnant of the old Trans Island Bus Services 86. Okay, it was 860, renumbered to 865, renumbered to 85, NER rationalization, and then they introduced 119. Yeah, like this. 120 is meant to bring Teluk Blangah MRT into Teluk Blangah Heights Estate, and then bring them out to the MRT as well. 121 is supposed to bring inside Crescent and inside Rise and give them access to like Jalan Bukit Merah, Kim Tian, as well as the most important one, which is Tiong Bahru MRT. Because 195 only serves outside, and 195's frequency sucks. 122 was crayon in the first place because people living along this stretch have like poor connection in general, like poor access to like this area in general. So it is supposed to feed this area to Tiong Bahru, and then this one is just it goes to Outram Park Park as well. The hospital area. I mean, this one is just like looking for the nearest bus terminal, and obviously this one they sent it to like Kesiang Road, so it's like a school bus for Queensway Secondary School that loops at Commonwealth Drive. But conceptually, 112, sorry, 122, the current 122 is basically just meant to feed the schools and the underserved residents, living along 122's route, basically. Used to be St. Mike's to New Bridge, and then to avoid duplication with 124, 123 was sent to loop at Permai instead. And then it got extended to Harbourfront and then to Sentosa. And then the other end, these two got absorbed into 123, as in the sector from Tanglin, Napier, Holland, Queensway, and Bukit Merah. 124 used to start from like inside here, Telok Blangah Rise. There was a bus terminal, like a little one. And then they made 124 terminate at Bukit Merah Interchange. Wasn't too useful, so they sent this one, oh my god, they sent this one to loop inside Telok Blangah Heights before they extended this one to Harbourfront Interchange. Yeah, correct. The only reason why this one loops at Sims Drive is really because of history. It used to go to like Shenton Way, but then there was like 131 which rendered 125 obsolete, and then this one, the old Service 20, it got integrated into like again, the term integrated is like very very loose. 20 and 125, the routes are like not even the same at all, but okay, this one got integrated into 125. Let's just take it as it is. Industrial Loop. 132 used to be Tomlinson Loop, and then it went back to Ang Mo Kio. And then 133, it used to be, during my time, Suntec Loop. Current generation of 134 and 150. Basically, it's meant to serve this side of Marine Terrace, because its accessibility is not very good like from the outside. So why not serve inside at least? Why not make a bus loop inside? And yes, over here, this used to be, I mean 608 used to be Bedok, but before Bedok, there used to be like a bus terminal here. So 608 was like this. But then 608, when it got extended to Bedok, it no longer went inside Terrace, so it's just like that in both directions. Literally just old Service 20, but the modernized version. 142, 148, I've explained this before, and 148's benefit is that it allows people to access like the northbound side of Upper Serangoon Road, and not just like the southbound side via 142. I've already explained why these two services have to be separate. Oh, and you know 972, in history, it wasn't the only one that like looped like this. Because there was a bus service called 140 from Toa Payoh. I think it was 140 if I'm not mistaken. It is exactly like 143, except that like it doesn't go Clemenceau. 140 is 143, except that it doesn't go to like this road. It just loops like this back to Toa Payoh in the same fashion as 972 looping here. So 140 was literally just Toa Payoh, copy 143, loop here, and then copy 143 back. 162's current loop sucks. Although, a fun fact is that this bus used to be a semi-express. Until people complained, then they made it local. This one used to be Sembawang Hills to Tanjong Pagar loop, and then it got shortened to like Ang Mo Kio, then to, you know, that South Canal loop, and eventually became Ang Mo Kio to Orchard loop. Then it got withdrawn. I don't want to explain this one. Okay, so 173 used to be Princess Elizabeth bus terminal to New Bridge Road via like Dunyan, Stevens, Newton, Orchard, and then North Bridge, South Bridge Road. But anyways, when 17 okay, maybe I should explain this one first. 205 used to be it is exactly the same as 173, and then I think it was amended into the Lorong Kismis as well, and then it looked like this. So this one got absorbed into this 173, and now 173 is now a Bukit Batok to a Clementi loop. But yes, 173 was formed as a result of the merger with this 205, another feeder bus service from Clementi to over here. There wasn't really anything like, bus planning, zone planning. I don't know what the term is. It's like zone boundaries, like planning area zone boundaries. So 205 could be a feeder in the past, but nowadays it wouldn't even be considered a feeder unless you're telling me that this area is under Clementi, which I doubt so. This thing, okay, I'm not talking about the one from like, was it Newbridge or like CBD to Tuas. This one, I'm talking about the one that eventually became 975. So this one is Bukit Panjang to Lim Chu Kang Road End Loop. But this one used to be Lim Chu Kang Road End Bus Terminal. Yes, there was a bus terminal in the past. And there was a thing called 206, which was like Boon Lay to Lim Chu Kang Road End. It was bi-directional if I'm not wrong. It was like 405 just extended to Lim Chu Kang. It also served like Old Choa Chu Kang Road as well. So yeah. This one, it was Lim Chu Kang Road End to Upper Bukit Timah Road Loop. So it looped to the south of like Petir Road. I don't remember which U-turn it used, but it U-turned in between Petir Road and Cashew Road, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. This one used to be Jurong East. It originated from Jurong East Bus Interchange. Jurong East Central used to have a bus terminal. Then it shifted to Jurong East. And then this one used to loop at Petir and Pending MRT, if I'm not mistaken. Like the old Bukit Panjang terminal. It used to loop there. And then nowadays, it's Bukit Panjang to Bukit Merah. And then there is this one, which due to space constraints inside that stupid tiny ITH, it now has to loop at Jelebu and Petir Road. 179 takes majority of the passengers inside NTU, and then this one serves mainly the dormitory areas. I think it's called Hall, if I'm not mistaken. HALL. The only reason why this, and this have to be loop services is because of space constraints. I don't really have anything much to say. Jurong West Avenue 3 Loop. The reason why this one exists is because that area only has like, historically it only has like 181 to the Boon Lay, and then they added like 185, which was a good addition. But yeah, this one is the one that feeds Avenue 5 and 3 to Boon Lay interchange. This one does a really big loop inside Tuas. But 182 used to be called 183. Because 183 was like Tuas to the current looping point of 182. I mean, then they integrated to from the current 182. But the earliest rendition of 183 was actually Jurong Interchange to New Bridge Road via Alexandra. This one pretty much covered like Upper Ayer Rajah Road, which is like the current AYE. This one used to be like kind of the predecessor of present day 167. Because 167 used to terminate at Tanjong Pagar Terminal, but the current 167, it was basically like exactly the same, except that it looped at St. Andrews Road, then Connaught Drive, like one big round. Like you know, this one used to pass by Jalan Bukit Merah, and so did this one as well. So 187, as I was explaining, the loop was literally just like this. And that's it. This one didn't really survive long. So 189 used to loop like this. Then it got extended to Marina Center Terminal. But then, because of the existence of this thing, 75, in the past, it rendered 189 useless. So Trans Island bus services, they changed it so that 189 used to like loop inside Harbor Drive. No. I believe it was like this. And then it wasn't really too useful, so 189 got converted to loop at Kent Ridge. And then they poofed out a 189A like this. Then yeah. I okay, my memory is a little like bad right now, but at some point I think it looped at like Clementi West Street 2 as well. I don't remember like the history of it. I'm so sorry, but yeah, this was way before it got converted to a Clementi Avenue 1 loop. Because Clementi Avenue 1, that area is underserved, so that's why they made 189, the present day 189, do that loop. I think it was in like year 2014, I think. 2014. These two unofficially loop at Boon Lay. I mean, sometimes it layovers, but sometimes it does like immediate departures. And then this one, cause Jalan Ahmad Ibrahim, that sector needs bus, so it loops there. This one, the route, it did change. I don't exactly remember if it was ever like bi-directional, but I do know that this one at one point in time it used to be like Crawford Street Terminal. Yeah, it used to be at that terminal. Then it was like it shifted to, I don't know, North Canal or some South Canal bus terminal. Then they changed it to like Shenton Way, if I'm not mistaken, and then they changed it to Marina Center. They changed it a lot, and then yeah, it loops at Commonwealth Drive. And then there was this famous bus that used to do 195 like 1997 to 1999 or something along those lines. The present day 201, it was basically designed to serve these underserved areas and then bring them to Clementi. The coverage of Badok is really very self-explanatory. I don't really have to explain much about this because 222, it's meant to link this side and this side to Badok, and then you have like the 225 twins. So yeah, it's ugly, but I don't even have to explain much about this because like, and then there is this like 229, which used to be called 219, that loops at Badok South Road, and then 228, 226, which became 60. I don't really want to explain much about this. 231 and 232 used to have green and white plates, but then they didn't really find that useful, so they converted to like just regular loop services. And 232 almost became green and white plate again. I actually have internal evidence to prove that like but obviously I cannot show it for obvious reasons. I have known of the plans to convert 232 into green and white plate, but it got shelved and then they just simply extended 230 instead. 240, I'm just gonna draw arrows like roughly. It serves the residential site and then it loops at Jalan Ahmad Ibrahim because there's no other place to loop it. And then 246, it goes inside the industrial estate. It's kind of like a shortcut if you live near like Yung Ho Road, if I'm pronouncing that right. And then it loops here. 246 has this added benefit of like bringing people from outside to inside. And these people, they need a connection to Lakeside. So that's the reason why 240 and 246 are different. Present day, present day Boon Lay, I don't really have to say much about it except that it's really based on like coverage. So you have this one, and then you have this side already being served by like 243, I mean current 243. And basically 242 just takes everything that isn't like covered. And I've already mentioned how 242, it used to be the oldest iteration of 243, except that that one used Central 3 and Jalan Boon Lay Way Central 2. I mean, even 242 used to be, like this, before they all put bus stops at Central 1. So yeah, it's really based on coverage. Then these ones, I don't really have to explain much about them because they are just meant as like hub-spoke bus services, so that's all. Again, coverage. 261 takes this side, 262 takes this side. There were feeder services that used to loop inside, but I guess it didn't really succeed, so now there's no more. And obviously, 265 and 268, you know the history of it, basically, yeah. And yes, like this. The history around this area was like kind of complicated, but right now the one that does this is 265, and then the one that loops at Industrial 2, and the Industrial Park 2 is 268, which used to be called 263, and even 263 used to go like Ang Mo Kio Street 61 both bounds. It was really complicated. But the one that goes like the one that goes that loops at Street 61 and near Lentor, Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5-4 is 269 today. Self-explanatory. Also self-explanatory. I already touched on this like quite some time ago, but yeah. The reason why they were routed like that is really because of coverage. And the same thing goes for 292 as well. And then there is also that like route amendment for 292 coming up. 291 connects the mosque. And not just the mosque, but like it connects this top part to like this bottom part. And obviously 293 connects this bottom part to this top part. Pretty simple, and that's the reason why these two cannot become one consolidated green and white plate service, because it just defeats the purpose of them. And 293, the one good thing is that it's routed to avoid most of the congestion like within Tampines. I know the east side, yeah, it's a whole another story, but when it comes to congestion, but like at least for the west side, it's routed to avoid congestion for the most part. And obviously the new bus services are just there for like additional coverage. Same goes for like 299 that loops at Bedok Reservoir. I've explained Choa Chu Kang before. I've explained why the feeder services are routed in a certain way, so I don't think I have to repeat that. The same goes for Serangoon, why 315 is through Central and then 317 is through Boundary Road, why both of them are pitched to Serangoon Garden Circus, and I also talked about the difference between 315 and 116, so yeah. 325, the looping point wise, it's supposed to bring people out to Yio Chu Kang Road, and from Yio Chu Kang Road bring people inside. And that's the reason why 325, it just twirls a lot. It twirls a lot, and then this sector is just for hub spoke, because as I've said, you're bringing in people to touch like the services at Hougang Avenue 2, and then you're also boosting 132, which is like the stupidest bus service on earth. I mean, not really. There are bus services that are more useless than 132, but like, you know that bus service sucks. But yeah, again, it's just a hub spoke. Brings people from here outside, brings people from like this general area outside, brings people from this this general area outside to touch 25, 55, and 854, and it just binds all of them together like glue. Why did I say that? I don't know, but yeah. And then obviously 324 is just a convenience thing. It's just meant to like loop around this area so that you don't have to walk outside. And then 329, again, it's meant for a more direct link. Cause you know 325 does this whole like merry-go-round thing, right? So 329 is a more direct path to here, and then obviously there's potential inside, so they sent 329 inside. Bukit Panjang feeders, I've already explained them before, so I'm not going to explain them again. As in like the 343, 344, 345, and then that loop service 179 under Trans-Island Bus Services. I've already explained that, so yeah. Pasir Ris feeders and service tree are really routed because of like that, because of coverage. Because back then there wasn't 58 and there was only this pitiful 88 serving Pasir Ris Drive 3. So 359, it's like a booster along this area, and then obviously it loops here, bringing people to this junior college, the best junior college in Singapore, in my opinion. So yeah, you have 359 doing this, and obviously to cover up the missing sectors, Drive 10, Drive 1, Elias, you have 358 doing this one. Again, it's really because of coverage, and over here you got service tree to Pongo nowadays. I could have drawn this a little bit neater, but okay, whatever. And then on along this side, this one they send 351, the predecessor, it used to bypass, but obviously a feeder service needs more connection, so that's why they sent it inside Street 51, and then they made it loop Street 11, and then they extended it to loop at Loyang Avenue. And obviously, since Service 3 already takes Street 21, this part of like Street 41, they sent 358 to cover as well. And the area is not covered by all these bus services. Okay, I know that there is this 350, which during certain hours of the day they used to like go to downtown east. And then other hours they used to bypass it. And then 350 was like drive 3, 6, 1, 4, 3. And obviously certain hours it goes inside. And then they changed it so that 358 does this instead. It serves inside the street instead of like the main road, because that's what feeder services are supposed to do. And then obviously 354 used to be like this, then they extended it further to loop. And obviously whatever that is not covered, 403, which used to be like this, by the way, but then obviously there's no bus terminal here, so they changed it so that 403 used to be like that, and then now they changed it like this. It covers whatever area that isn't covered by the other feeder services, even though this one is a trunk and not a feeder, because it used to be branded as a park service. Current 372, not the one that used to be Trans-Island Bus Services 903, but this one, okay, it used to like loop the other way. They decided that it was kind of meaningless because this side, they already extended 163 from Jalan Kayu bus terminal back then to, I mean at Piccadilly, to like Sengkang instead. So because of this, you don't really need 372 to call both bounds like this. They decided to make 372 a lot more useful. They decided to serve Sengkang and Anchorvale both bounds because that's where most of the catchment is from, and obviously you got a loop somewhere, so yeah, it's kind of a useful loop that you can take advantage of because it brings people from outside to inside. See, like this, like from here to here, and then even from here to here as well, which is a lot more useful than you would think. And it also allows people from here like this, because you know 85 goes like this, so 372 allows you to connect with like no, not 80, 82, 88, and what's the other bus service? Okay, 163 doesn't count, but mainly these two. It's meant to feed 372 to these two bus services. I wouldn't comment about 371 and 374 because those were new. I just know that this one got rejected because they decided to reroute 102 instead. Pongo, it's really all about coverage. So, I mean, since you have 382 that does this, and then you have 386 that currently does this, what area is missing? You cover all the missing areas like this as a booster for like 136, because 136 doesn't have the best frequencies and goes down, and then loops like this. So 381, the purpose is really to cover all the areas that are not covered by 382 and 386. And obviously 384 is, it only exists because of that Y junction inside North Shore. So yeah, 384 and 84 serve different purposes nowadays. 384 is for North Shore, and then 84 is mostly for like the Pongo Jetty, that HDB, that new HDB estate that is near Pongo Jetty nowadays. This one failed, this one failed, this one got integrated into this. This one's quite self-explanatory. This one I've already explained, this one I've already explained. But this one, okay, basically this one used to be, it was Bedok to Lorong 1 Geylang. Didn't work out. They tried to extend it to Tomlinson Road. It failed as well because there was not enough demand. So nowadays they sent it to loop at Marine Parade, Amber, Tanjong Katong, Dunman, Old Airport Road, Mountbatten Road, Fort Road, East Coast Park Service Road. So just one big round for coverage. And then they sent it to Sigla to, in a way, during weekends boost 40 as well, because 40 doesn't have the best frequencies. So I don't really have a lot to say about that, except that yes, they amended it to Mountbatten, loop at Mountbatten, because like it was just like the best way to do it, I guess. I've talked about unidirectional loops before, and you can go watch those videos. And then this one is also a unidirectional loop. This one was bidirectional, so it doesn't count. And then these two were bidirectional as well. This one was also like a I think, oh, sorry, these two were loops. These two were like AM peak and PM peak, so these two don't count. But yeah, this one and this one, the unidirectional loops was meant to serve like, okay, you know how 502 and 518 is meant for Orchard, right? The unidirectional loop. Orchard, Suntec, Bayfront, and Dhoby Ghaut as well. These two, they were meant for like the CBD area more of. And then obviously there was a 501 hex that exits Dhoby Ghaut immediately, Suntec, Dhoby Ghaut, and then go back. So yeah, you can go read up on the history of like 501, 508. I even did recreations of these bus routes, so yeah, you can check that out if you're interested. This one exists to link up all these areas together. Sin Ming, Upper Thomson, Shunfu. Shunfu was later, not during introduction, but in the past it was like there was this 353, and then became 57, withdrawn, so now they decided to do 410 instead, because this kind of like circular looping in this context just happens to be way more efficient. Oh, and I'm sorry, I literally forgot about this, like this tiny little street 13, street 12, street 11 as well. So yeah, that's the purpose of 410, to link all these areas together, and then to bring them to like Upper Thomson Plaza. I forgot the name of the shopping center, I'm sorry. This one is the same logic as 70, 107, 162 hex, or M, or asterisk, or whatever you call it. I've already explained like Yishun in another video, in multiple other videos actually, but I just want to once again point out why, okay, you can go watch the other videos if you want like a whole detailed explanation of why feeders are like routed in a certain manner, but I mean, even like, you know, historically, why there was this 804A, which eventually became, I mean, the very first feeder express bus service that eventually became 806. Yes, the very first feeder express concept is actually not 298X. It is actually 804A, if you read your history well. But apparently not many people in Singapore are really like interested in your bus history, so I think I've gotta like promote it. So yeah, as an outsider, by the way, not Singaporean. I'm not Singaporean. So yeah. Okay, where was I? I was saying these two. Uh okay. So 800, it's meant to bring like this general area to outside to Sembawang Road, and then from Sembawang Road back as well. And it just so happens to touch Yishun Street 71 and Yishun Ring Road. So yeah, this one allows you to, from outside, access inside as well. It's an added bonus, but the main purpose of this service is for this general area to reach Sembawang Road. And whatever area that's not covered by 800, they use 811. So like this area doesn't have 800. Where's Avenue 6? This area doesn't have 800. Avenue 7, like the eastern part of it, not the western part of it, doesn't have 800. So it is meant to bring the people from along this side of the road to access Sembawang Road. I mean, not down here, but like Sembawang Road, sorry. And then, same concept. You bring people out, and then you bring people in as well. So that's the reason why 811, obviously you have 800 like doing this already, so 811's gotta be a little bit different, right? So it just loops like this. Anyway, the reason why 811 currently loops like this is also because of history. There was the old 801, actually it was literally a square. So they preserved the square and they integrated it into like an intra-town service. So that explains why 811 loops in a so-called square fashion. Forgot to mention this, but 258M was actually created by my friend's suggestion. It got rejected for like a few years, but then they decided to revive it because of BCEP. So yeah. This one used to be it used to go all the way to Yishun, like via Yishun Avenue 1 as well. I mean that non-stop sector between Upper Thomson, Sembawang Road and Lentor. It used to go via that stretch as well. But then it got truncated to Spring Leaf, like inside the estates, then got truncated again. And then yeah, it became Yio Chu Kang to Lentor Loop. 857 loops at Marina Center because of space constraints. 859 loops inside Yishun Interchange because there is demand. Simple as that. And then this one is a loop, again, space issues. This one is just waiting to be sent to Chencharu ITH. This one historically was introduced to cover the deleted sectors of 167 when everything got consolidated into Sembawang Interchange. Because 167 used to terminate at a bus terminal at a car park at Sembawang Road End. This one loops at a hospital. Simple as that. I've explained Woodlands before, you can go watch my other videos. Simply put it, this one used to loop at Segar, but then and then even used to go to Saujana, but then they changed it to parallel to parallel 972, except the loop at Bangkit and Senja as well. So it's like a faster version of like 972. So if 972 ever gets like affected by delays in PIE, BKE or whatever, you can take 922. It's an enclosed loop. It's enclosed within the neighborhood. That's why. And then this one is like it links Senja, Saujana, and that lower part of Fajar and Bangkit as well. So yeah. And then this one is only a thing because there is no demand for the industrial estate like Sungai Kadut, but there is demand for the dormitory workers near Kranji. So that's why this one was created. This one used to loop at Lim Chu Kang Road, like Neo Tiew Road, Lim Chu Kang Road and then Lim Chu Kang Lane 3 as well, but no demand, so they cut it to loop at Neo Teo Crescent. Simple as that. This one was a tourist scam. This one is a legitimate service. This one I've already explained why it used to be a unidirectional loop. It's to because one side of like Bukit Batok West used to be forest. This one it's basically supposed to link up Bukit Batok East Avenue 5 and then that small street, Bukit Gombak, and then it's basically a Bukit Gombak loop service because that area needs a bus. Simply put it that way. This one, it's meant for convenience for like West Avenue 2 and 4. Historically, the looping was like a little different, but then it now loops at Bukit Batok Road. So it brings you from outside to, it's like from inside from West Avenue 4 to outside Bukit Batok Road. So you can intercept like 180 or 160, and then from outside to inside as well. It's the same kind. This one is like the same kind of concept as 800 and 811. It's meant to loop at Bukit Batok Road. It didn't always loop at Bukit Batok Road. Ever since introduction, it actually looped nearby the 945's like current looping area, but they decided that Bukit Batok Road loop was more worth it. So yeah, that's why. The only reason why this one loops is because it's really not worth it to just put a bus terminal near Admiralty Street just for one bus service. That's why it's loop. Industrial loop. Marine Parade. Haha, Sengkang no space. Self-explanatory. This one's meant to serve dairy farm and a little bit of Hillview. That's the reason why it loops. It's like it allows you it allows oh my god, it allows people living inside Hillview to come out to like the real mall. That's one benefit of this bus service, and it also connects you to Hume nowadays. So that's one good thing about it. Yeah. Let me see what else is like loop. Maybe this is a challenge to see how fast I can think. I almost said 976 is a loop, but it's a bidirectional service. Yeah. But anyways, these are my genuine thoughts. This one was only meant to boost 302. I mean, sorry, I mean like you have one bus that is from the NSL side and then one bus that's from the DTL side. So this one is pretty self-explanatory as to why there's like 49 and 335. It's like the exact same concept. So yeah. This one loops outside Jurong East because there's really no point putting it inside Jurong East when it does its loop. Fine. You know? So I don't have much to say about this one. This one is simply just making 160M more useful. This one actually has use nowadays, so I don't really have much to say about this one. By the way, the Night Rider services, they used to be loops. So if I'm not mistaken, these two used to be Marina Center and then they got extended to Resorts World Sentosa. Then this one used to loop at Sengkang. This one used to loop at Yishun. This one is like Marina Center to Sembawang area loop. This one serves like Woodlands and Sembawang at the same time, but I honestly don't remember this one's route. This one used to loop at Boon Lay. This one used to loop at Pasir Ris. It's like drive 1 Elias and drive 3, then loop back. But then obviously eventually they became unidirectional because the other direction there was just like nobody, so they cut it all to become unidirectional. This one used to be like a UT area to North Canal loop, if I'm not mistaken. This one is the interesting one. Yes, there was a period of time whereby this one was a loop service, like Marina Center to like Bukit Batok loop. But this one, correct me if I'm wrong, it used to be like Bedok to Bukit Batok. It was like a bi-directional Night Rider service. Was it Bedok? Correct me if I'm wrong. Resorts World Sentosa, Harbourfront Loop, City Hall Loop, Outram Park Loop, which never got implemented. Oh, and in case you're curious, 68 was supposed to use Kampong Baru, but 88 uses Kampong Baru Road in both bounds. Then it's like, honestly, I forgot the route, but it was some. I think it was like Kampong Baru Road, U Tongson Street, High Street, Parliament Place, St Andrews Road, Coleman Street, and I don't remember if this one used like New Bridge Road or North Bridge, South Bridge, New Road to reach Kampong Baru Road and then back to Resorts World Sentosa. I completely forgot the non-stop sector, whether it was like via New Bridge or North Bridge and South Bridge. Now, okay, the remaining bus services, uh, to clarify with y'all, these were unidirectional. These were not loops. They were eventually integrated into the Night Rider bus services, but these were unidirectional. City bus, as in like CITYBUZZ, these all three were loop services. This one, you can go read about the history on it. There were some loop services. The Turf Club services were bi-directional, except I think they were bi-directional. Yeah, except this one, which loops at like Yishun. This one, like SS1 to SS2, SS7. I don't know, SS1 to SS7. I don't remember if like they were like bi-directional or loop. I just remember that some of them looped. I remember SS2 looped. SS7, I think it was bi-directional. I cannot remember, but M1, M2, M3, M4, those that became like 92, 182, wait, is it 182? Sorry. 92, 42, and then there was a Lucky Heights loop service. Sorry, not 182. I accidentally spoke. Okay. 42, 92, 15 integrated into 15, and then this one is Lucky Heights. M4 is 15, and yeah, 92 is M1, 42 is M2. So yeah, these were all loop services. CBD1, CBD2, they were loop. Stadium Service D was also loop. So yeah, that's about it for this video, and yeah. Okay, so like the whole point of doing this video is because I did a video telling people like the reason why bus services loop instead of run bi-directional in like different contexts. I made that video, and then that video drew inspiration. I drew inspiration from that video, and then I decided to make this one because I wanted to see like exactly how many, not really exactly, but like roughly how many bus services in Singapore, be it like nowadays or back then, were loops. Like were they converted from bi-directional to loop or loop to bi-directional? So yeah, I think this one was like kind of interesting for myself as well. And low-key, it was also kind of like a memory test for me to see how well I can remember without like referring to like a script. I did check, okay, the very last slide about, the CBD 1, 2, and everything, that one I did check. But everything else, it was just like pure memory. That's why this video is unscripted, except the last part of it.